Welcome back to 556 Media, and yeah, we're out in the shop, but we're focused on gunsmithing in this video, particularly the AR-15 platform. So let's get into it. Let's get into the elephant in the room first off, and that is this thing. This is an AR-15 pistol. This is not an SBR short-barreled rifle. It's an AR pistol. And those of you that know the difference, I'm not going to get into it. It's legal stuff. So this is a Frankenstein AR-15. A Frankenstein AR-15 pistol. Let me tell you why. So this is a circa 2012, when they first started coming out, New Frontier Armory polymer lower receiver. Remember when it was really hard to get lowers, or if you could find them, they were like 3, 4, 5 times the normal cost? Yeah, well, when I was looking for some, this is what I came up with, but I also did it for experimental reasons. I wanted a lower quick, and I also wanted to try out a polymer, so it kind of worked out for me. This upper is a complete upper that I did not build. This was from Palmetto State Armory, and I didn't buy this till several years later because I had an upper on there that I built, but it's a Palmetto State Armory factory upper, 10.5-inch barrel. The only thing I replaced on the upper was the handguard. I went from the standard handguard to the quad rail, and I can't remember who makes the quad rail, but it's not made in China. I do know that. So it is a good quality handguard. It has the Hogue overmolded pistol grip. This is my favorite AR pistol grip. However, as you can see on this polymer lower, it doesn't fit exactly very well. It functions fine on the range and things like that, but the fitment is not good. Overall, this was one of their first gen polymer lowers, I believe, maybe second gen at best. I don't trust my life with it, I can tell you that much. This is just a fun gun. It's the Frankenstein AR-15 pistol fun gun for me.
What the hell?
So anyway, yeah, the Hogue pistol grip. Now this is a USGI Colt A2 detachable carry handle. And you can see, I actually bought this government surplus. You can see it's kind of marked from the stock, the inventory, whatever. Don't know where it came from. Don't know if it's all combat, whatever. But that's a Colt, and this goes back to the Iraq, Afghanistan conflict era. So yeah, it does have a shockwave blade pistol brace. So you can see this is a pistol brace. You can basically refer to it as a stock, but it's a pistol brace. And what it's meant to do is attach to your forearm when you're shooting. And for someone like me that has a partial disability in a hand, these things come in handy. The ATF would likely argue otherwise, but they are wrong. The buffer tube or receiver extension underneath, this is fixed, by the way, it's not adjustable. The buffer tube receiver extension is, I can't remember who made it, but it's kind of generic. It's kind of generic. And the lower parts kit when I built this, if I recall correct, is all CMMG. It was a complete CMMG lower parts kit. So yeah, so that's this Frankenstein AR-15 pistol build. And let's get into what I do here in the shop.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
All right, so this Frankenstein build aside, what I generally try to do, and I've been doing this for many years, building, repairs, things like that. I try to stick to OEM parts. In other words, original equipment manufacturer parts. So if I have a Colt rifle or Colt carbine, and it's going to be a build from the ground up, I'm using Colt. If it already is a built Colt, I'm using Colt parts. So in turn, I'm going to use, this is an entire Colt lower build kit, brand new. It's just hanging out, waiting to be used for a new build or a repair or something like that. But this is a Colt factory. And it's not a current one. These are older parts. So remember that. Those of you that know Colt know what I'm talking about. These are older parts for their platform. Not too old, but the right time frame. So I'll use these. If I'm building a Colt from the ground up, which I am in the process of doing, have been doing for 2 years, but takes a little bit of time. But yeah, OEM. And these are mil spec, so you can kind of see it's labeled. Also has the OEM packaging label. So these are all original Colt parts. I'll also take, if I'm building an Anderson lower, which are fine by me. A lot of people don't like them. That's fine. I'll take, here's an original, complete Anderson lower parts kit. And I know it's handwritten Anderson, but I took it out of the original packaging. I put it in here because it's just easier to store. They ship a lot of things in boxes and stuff, just like PSA does, Palmetto State Armory, but I'll show you that in a second. But yes, this is a OEM Anderson lower parts kit, complete lower parts kit, minus your receiver extension, buffer tube, whatever, stock and things like that. And then speaking of PSA or Palmetto State Armory, here's an entire lower build kit if you want to make an A2 style rifle. Here's an entire kit. So it's got the lower parts kit, the receiver extension, it's got the spring, the buffer, it's got everything. The stock, like, it's got everything that you need. So if you want to make a rifle, M16, A2, A3, A4, whatever type of rifle clone that you want to make, this is pretty much what you'd use. So you can see it's in its original factory packaging. And another example I use, this is Rock River Arms. So I have two original factory Rock River Arms AR-15s still. One is my go-to, my daily go-to, and I have another one. I actually just repaired the EOTech site, holographic site that came with it. You've seen it in another video, but so I keep a factory, and this one's dated 2016. So a complete factory Rock River Arms lower parts kit in case I need to repair my rifle, or if I want to build a new rifle or carbine from Rock River Arms, if I have a Rock River Arms lower. So there's that. Other parts I use, and I don't have a stock available because they're all attached to rifles and carbines, but I use Magpul. I love Magpul. I love their stocks. I love their trigger guards, like you see here. Their magazines. They're all top of the line. So in my shop, I stick to a lot of, like I said, OEM parts, and Magpul is part of that. So the lesson here is you can pretty much count on two hands the number of legit U.S. manufacturers of AR-15 parts, whether they're commercial grade or mil-spec grade. You need to, if you're going to get into this, you need to avoid buying foreign parts. And a good way to avoid that is look at where they're being sold from. So I don't like California in the first place because of their politics, but it's a key concept here. If you see something, a generic labeled no name brand AR-15 part or parts kit coming out of California, especially, they have a major harbor. They have a major import harbor in the United States. It's not the only one, but it's huge. If you see anything from there, don't get it. Like I said, unlabeled, generic, and from there, don't get it. Foreign made, not quality, unreliable, that type of thing. So, and that goes for everything. Uppers, lowers, upper parts kits, lowers parts kits, bolt carrier groups, all the parts that go in the bolt carrier groups, things like that. So, yeah, there's that. Also, stay away from these polymer lowers. I don't care. And don't 3D print them either. That's stupid.
This will be a little demonstration of that. Listen up. That was my skull. I'm so wasted.
These aren't all my gunsmithing tools, of course. I have a ton up here as well, and then I have more in different boxes and drawers and things like that around the shop. But what you have to remember is you're going to want to use quality tools. I stick to known, and when I say known, I mean proven gunsmithing tools. And I'm not talking about necessarily name brands, because you can buy quality gunsmithing tools at Lowe's, at Home Depot, even at Harbor Freight. But for the most part, just like parts, if there's a OEM tool available, I will buy that, such as these Glock tools. There's a bunch of these OEM Glock tools that I have here, like the punch, the sight tools, things like that. I will stick with OEM because they're the most, it's what they're made for. Sometimes you can step outside the box, and here's a magazine plate disassembly tool. I know you've seen in other videos. I haven't opened it because I haven't needed it. I haven't opened a Glock mag in, a long time. Breaking them apart to clean them is generally not necessary. So I still have this pretty much brand new in the box, but it's here and I have it. But again, remember, there's also proprietary parts that go on firearms. So meaning you have to have a special tool that only the manufacturer of the part offers and usually supplies with the part that you're getting. Bottom line is, if you gather a decent set of tools, whether they're name brand or not, you could do the job. You just have to know you just have to know how the tools are used, and you need to start from scratch. Everybody does. Every gunsmith starts from scratch. Every amateur gunsmith like me starts from scratch. You have to learn the basics, and you're going to make mistakes, and that's fine. But get the tools you need. You'll find tips and tricks, and you'll figure out how to save money. And if you want to go professional, you can check out professional gunsmithing schools and things like that, like the Sonoran Desert Institute. I'm not sponsored. Things like that, where you can actually, get a formal education and things like that, but you don't really need one to be a gunsmith. The bottom line is, when you're getting tools and when you're using the tools, you need to know how the tool works, what to do with it, what its limitations are, and how to avoid damaging your firearm. And that comes into play like things like something simple as like using painter's tape on your AR-15 lower or upper while you're installing parts. That can save you some headaches. So, yeah, tools are a thing, and yes, they are an expense. And like I said, you can learn some shortcuts. Like, if you know what this is a little paint can lid tool. Like, you remove a paint can lid with this tool. But this tool is used in gunsmithing and range repairs to extract a broken shell or stuck shell casing from an AR-15. So it's not a bad idea to invest 50 cents or $1, whatever they cost now, to have one. Another tip from your Uncle 556 Media. All right, so this video got way more long-winded than I wanted it to be, so I apologize for that. But I just wanted to give some insight into what I do, my resources that are available to me, and what you can obtain and do when it comes to gunsmithing, gun repair for your own personal, for your own personal firearms and things. And just remember, like a platform like this that we are on right now is suppressing firearms related information. So, as I say, let not your heart be saddened, as there are many other online video resources in which to find the guidance of which you seek related to this exact same thing. So, gunsmithing, shooting, just basic firearms maintenance, things like that, it's all out there. So I apologize for being long-winded, but I also want to give an insight into what I do. And right now, I'll show a little bit of bonus video from my shop. So thanks for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and hope to see you on the next one. All right, a little bit of behind the scenes. So yeah, my gunsmithing bench. So have some different types of hammers, but these are non-marring. So you have rubber, you have plastic, I even have brass, things like that, because you want to keep away things that will damage your firearm. Hammers, sorry, that will damage your firearms. Different AR-15 multi-tools from different manufacturers. Snap ring pliers. That's a handguard removal tool. All the punches and starter punches you can imagine. I got a ton more up here. Picks, you need picks. You also need specialized tools. So here's a tool for a Remington 870 to remove and attach a 4-end stock, or a 4-end, not the stock, but the 4-end GSG tool, because it's soft material and you need a specialized tool. I have a 1911 tool here, AR-15 push pin tool here. I've got, and up in here, torque wrenches, gas block, assembly jig, AR-15 pivot tool. I have a training, AR-15 lower. It's not a real lower. It's just when you install the parts to either work on them or just show how they work. The blocks you need, the painter's tape that I went over before, like all kinds of stuff. You got a gunsmithing bit set. Like there's everything that you can imagine here. And then the reason why is because I work on these different platforms. So shotgun, which will be 870 in my case, Glock, various models. I have a ton of different Glock parts in there for different models. Ruger 1022, I have a few of those, or a couple of those. I do work on them. My Beretta, so I have one Beretta, but I do keep parts on hand, and I did some gunsmithing work to it. Miscellaneous, of course, and of course we have our AR-15, M16, M4 parts, which are pretty much all compatible. And all of these drawers are, M16, M4, AR-15 parts, and they're all, for the most part, interchangeable with the different platforms, except if you have a select fire or full auto carbine or rifle. But yeah, all of that. And then we can go over here, and I keep, there's some extra decals, different pistol grips, depending on how I decide to build. These are all stocks and fore ends and things like that. There's a big one. Lower parts kits, I believe. There's a barrel in there. There's bolt carrier groups. There's a stripped upper receiver in there. There's all kinds of, there's a stripped upper receiver. All kinds of stuff in there in case I need to make a repair or need a build. So that's it. That's the quick tour of the gunsmithing aspect of my shop. So catch you on the next one.